Hi there. Today's video is going to be high energy, full of surprises, and it's going to be interesting. I'm probably going to do two today because this one is, you'll see the why after you watch this one. I'm going to do one on domains in a little bit. So let's start with our useless facts. Stewardesses is the longest word that can be typed with only your left hand. And that's good. Next, rule of thumb. Most of you use this expression a lot, don't know its meaning, and don't know where it was derived from. It was derived from an old English law which stated you couldn't beat your wife with anything wider than the thickness of your thumb. So now you know when you use it what exactly you're saying. So today's video is based on GoDaddy.com. It's going to be tips and tricks of the current, and I stress current, reigning heavyweight champion of the world as far as registrars go. They're the largest registrar, but for how long? Sometimes, so alright, so far we've talked about it. So let me preface this video by saying I left GoDaddy in January 2010 on good terms. I have no hard feelings about GoDaddy at all. I'm not going to give out any information that was attained while I was an employee at GoDaddy, but I will tell you some features that I learned as a domainer and not as an employee. So some things you probably didn't know about GoDaddy but should know. Number one, GoDaddy is built on, well, you guys should know this one. GoDaddy is built on good marketing and a few other things. Some of the smartest executives that I've met over the years, and I've been to a couple of companies, were there at GoDaddy. And one of them was Warren Edelman. Warren Edelman is simply a genius. He knew what he was doing. He knew what was going on in every department, and he didn't have to be everywhere. He just knew everything that was going on, and he left his position as president and most recently as CEO, I believe, in July 2012 to spend more time with his family and after the buyout, which we'll talk about later. But I can't say enough good things about Warren Edelman. The guy's a genius. Barb Rechterman, she is the Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer and Bob's right-hand man, or a woman, because she's a woman. She is excellent and still remains at GoDaddy today. She is the marketing genius behind GoDaddy. And I figured it was about time she got her props. Anyway, so let's talk about some other features that you guys can use for your own domains and your own benefit and things like that. So GoDaddy has an email address called review60@godaddy.com where you can email them to remove the 60-day lock. Just tell them the domain is sold and they will lift it. But make sure it is sold and you're not lying, because obviously the only reason to transfer it away is if they want to go to a different registrar. Otherwise, just get your buddy's GoDaddy account who you sold it to and just push it, and then don't bother sending the email, because pushes the 60-day lock doesn't apply to. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing is undo at GoDaddy.com. So if you accidentally push a domain to the wrong account, you have 3 days to notify them, and they'll put it back in your account. I'd go for 2 and not push it to the 3, but if you accidentally push to somebody's account, send a note to undo at GoDaddy.com, and they will undo it and put it back in your account. This is not to be abused, as in you were stupid enough to push a domain before you got paid, and the guy never paid you, and he screwed you for the domain name. So you know why you should use undo at GoDaddy.com. How to delete a domain name. Now, this is a seldom known feature, but it's in the Domain Control Center. And I will admit that back in, I don't know how many years ago, lots of years ago, when I started out in this industry and had a couple of trademark domains, if I ever got a cease and desist letter, I would first go to the Domain Control panel, find the domain. I would change the whois to some bullshit fake whois, and then I would hit delete. And this puts the domain in automatic redemption and out of your name, and end any problem that I had or any cease and desist letter that I received. Now, I'm not saying that that's the way you should use it, but that's the way I used it. You can use it any way you want, but to know that the feature is there should you need to delete a domain name immediately is a good feature to know. So there's also something that I set up when I was at GoDaddy, and this is no trade secret, it just benefits you. So you can do a check on how many people somebody has gone to the GoDaddy whois box and typed in your exact match domain name, like, I don't know, brownshoes.com, and it will tell you how many times in the last 15, 30, or 60 days somebody has done that for your domain name. Well, this is pretty valuable because you know if people are doing an exact search for your domain name, you know probably somebody wants it, so you probably don't want to drop that domain name. So where do you find this lovely feature? You go to your Domain Control Center, Tools, Exportable Lists, and then keep going and make sure you check the boxes that says who is information or who is something or other. And then it'll be in your CSV when it's time to download it. So a little while ago, KKR, along with Silver Lake Partners and Technology Crossover Ventures, bought GoDaddy last year. The deal was believed to be worth over $2.25 billion. Sorry, if I missed a few zeros there. And something you don't know is that there was once a forum called NoDaddy.com. It was started by a disgruntled customer, and then it was later populated by a lot of other disgruntled customers, and then later it was populated by disgruntled employees who were either let go or just left and were disgruntled. So it became pretty popular, and conveniently, just before the buyout closed, it is rumored that GoDaddy bought NoDaddy.com for a hefty sum and closed it down. Of course, you can always check if I'm lying or not by going to archive.org and looking it up. So now we get to the meat of this video. I love a new challenge, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information on past history on the internet and on its workings and on life on the internet. So I'm just going to scroll down here, so give me 1 second. Don't really need to scroll down. I will just do this. So you know there are many companies that were number one and thought they were going to stay there forever, and it was impossible for them to be unseated. Let me give you a few of those companies and the lessons that were taught to them. IBM, top at selling computers in the 70s, 80s, and a little bit in the 90s. Then along came Dell, Compaq, Hewlett-Packard, and quite a few others, to say the least. Then there was Intel. Intel thought they were the only ones going to sell chips. And then out came AMD, my initials, by the way, which is a domain I know I can never get because they still own it. Then there was US Robotics, top at selling modems. Then dial-up modems became obsolete. Where's US Robotics today? Then there was AOL with their lovely discs at every cash register and mailed to your house and everything else. And then along came broadband. Then there was MySpace, and MySpace thought they were the God's gift to social networking and giving you free websites and all that cool stuff. And well, where's MySpace today? It still exists, but there's a whole lot of stuff that's better than they are, and they were number one. And then my favorite, there was two browsers when the internet first became browser friendly. One was called Mosaic, which I think most of you will have never heard of. And no, it's not the same thing as Mozilla Firefox. It was actually called Mosaic. I used it, and it's dead. It's gone. And then there was another one that everyone should know about called Netscape. Well, what can I say about Netscape? They're gone now, and IE, Chrome, Firefox, and a couple others have moved on to the market, and now they own the market. Then there was the old search engines, the ones that started as Yahoo.com. It thought it was the powerhouse thought it was the cat's meow. They were once GoTo.com, and then they became Yahoo. And they were the best search engine on the planet. And then along came a little company called Google. I think we all know who they are. And they became number one. Is that to say that there'll never be a search engine to beat Google? Oh, probably not. Probably there will be. Do we know what its name is now? No, but it's coming. And then finally there's GoDaddy, the world's number one registrar now. Then along comes who? Well, we'll see. That's up to you. I can tell you this. I am convinced I could build a better registrar and compete with GoDaddy, and would consider working with one of the top 6 to do this, or a new startup that had capital and wanted center stage. I'm interested. At GoDaddy, I ran 9 major products and just about as many team members of staff. So am I convinced I can do it? Yeah, I know I can do it. If you're interested, call me, because I am interested. I love a good challenge, and I have nothing against GoDaddy. I just want a good challenge. Anyway, by the way, that's the end of this video. And the only thing that I can tell you is that during the taping of this video, no elephants were harmed at all during the making of this video. Small, short, and sweet. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Whoever wants to pick it up, you got my number, 416-884-0535. You want to be tops and you want to do some of the stuff that the other top companies aren't doing right now, like how to service your business customers properly, giving them what they really need instead of having them go to a page where they can order a Facebook page like web.com does right now. And you go there and you click to order, and instead of actually being able to purchase it, it sends you to a phone to call somebody. Wake up, web.com. We had this conversation a year and a half ago. And I told you that people needed to be able to purchase online right away, and then send them a screen that says you'll have a consultant call them back and figure out how you can best build their Facebook business page or to suit their needs. Nothing's changed. You haven't changed in a year and a half. You still have to call. We're in an online industry. In an online industry, people expect to be able to purchase online. So, anybody who's ready to pick up the gauntlet and give me a call, I'm ready for the challenge. Let's have some fun. Have a great day.